What is going on, everybody? This is the O that you should know. Omar, Akil, Solo, one third of the Culture Cast. For the culture, by the culture. We do it for the culture. And if you're not down with the culture, we just can't help you, bringing you everything you need to know in the world of professional wrestling and, other ish. It's great to be back. Happy New Year, everybody. Hope you all are doing well. Shout out to all of our listeners all across the world. And speaking of the world, we got the second third of the Culture Cast. He's known as Worldwide Ray. What is going on, Rashad?
Man, where the hell y'all been?
Fire up the backwood already, bro? Jesus Christ. And then, of course, going all the way down to the 618, we got the Miss Brit to the knee, all the way from not the Lou, but we're just going to call it the Lou today. LOL. Just
Listen,
kidding.
it's 2022. We got to do better.
Brit to the knee. What's happening, Queen?
What's going on, y'all? Happy New Year.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Happy New Year, guys. And it's great to be back. I know it's been a minute, but hey, life has been lifing, but we've been busy on social media, so make sure you follow us all on social media, on Instagram at CultureCastPod, Twitter, CultureCastPod_. Click that link in the bio. We have a merch store on What a Maneuver. Definitely click that link in the bio. All sales are donated to independent wrestling. So that could be sponsoring a wrestler, putting money on a show, or just donated to a wrestler in need. All the proceeds, from every purchase is donated to independent wrestling. And Ray, real quick, if you want to talk about, some of the new opportunities with the merch that we have with this new store.
What do you mean?
There's crew necks, my brother. There's crew necks. I
You
saw a
could have
crew
said
neck.
it's a new year. You gotta keep that same energy with your marketing.
Crew necks, baby.
You want me to
Culture
take
Cast
you want
crew
me to
necks.
take you want me to take your commission after you did all the work.
Hey, I didn't do
See
anything.
see if we were a dealership, you would have talked the customer into everything, and you'd have been like, let me take you over to him so he can get the final sale and the commission.
Hey, I know my role. This is a teamwork, collaboration, my brother. Collaboration. All right.
I'm getting all the commission.
Hey, but guess what though? It's gonna be donated at the end of the day, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. But happy New Year, team, man. What's happening? It's been a long time, man. I know we all been talking like every day, but still, we ain't been on recording in a minute, man. Um, how's life, man? Omarion out here going crazy, but how
Out
are
I
here
y'all
doing
blame that
doing?
little
I blame
things.
that on Marion on you telling people to go outside. I'm like, hold on now, whoa.
Because he was outside, and now look at us.
Right. Right. Every other comment is, why don't y'all go outside? Why don't y'all go outside? Now look what it happened. Now look at you.
Hey, I still believe people need to go outside. Do not get it
Hell,
twisted.
no, no, no,
But
no,
but but
no.
but but
No.
but not outside literally. Outside is a mindset. Outside of your normal thinking. Think outside the box. You see what I did there?
That box might have some Marion on it. Can stay as in the box.
Definitely, guys. We want everyone out there to definitely be safe. It's wild times out there. So definitely for you, your family members, your friends, please stay safe. Take it seriously. Mask up. Double mask up if you need to. Not just the cloth masks. Go get tested if you're going to be outside with a bunch of people. Get that PCR test. Trust and believe from personal experience.
Hey,
Get
hey,
that PCR test.
watch where you go and get it from, because there's a lot of like pop up places that are like
Mm-hmm.
scamming people. Like they're just issuing like rapids, but then they'll tell you to give them like your information, talking about it's going to be like emailed to you, and it never comes.
So be smart. A lot of people, unfortunately, every time of the year when there's a pandemic or something that's tragic that's happening across the country, there's always certain individuals that will try their best to finesse it. So we want you guys to be safe out there. So if you're going to wrestling shows, wear your masks. I know a lot of wrestling fans want to chant and cheer. You know, those are the folks that need to go outside. But if you're going to go outside to a show, wear your mask and wear deodorant too while we're at that.
Just wash your ass in general.
That period.
Britt, how was your New Year? How was everything down there, down south?
Everything been pretty cool. Laid back, like you said, life been lifing, but we've been good down here.
She ready for the rumble.
Yes. Oh, I cannot wait.
And we're definitely going to talk
I'm
about the
so
Royal Rumble.
excited.
We're definitely going to talk about the Royal Rumble. This podcast today is sponsored, but not really sponsored by Core Water. By the way, this is the greatest water. If you guys did not know,
Debatable.
Core.
Highly debatable.
Yeah, it's definitely
Highly
debatable.
debatable.
Yeah.
What water is better than Core?
Liquid death.
Oh, that's a good one.
I've never had it, so I can't. I can't.
Fiji.
Fiji's
Definitely
amazing.
Fiji.
Fiji's in my top three. Fiji's like number two.
Hey, if you, I mean, personal wise, I'll throw in Life Water and Essentia.
Essentially is my number one.
Essential's my number three. So okay, we're water with
Look,
class because
we're showing everyone we drink our water. You know, I mean, you can't go bad with the store brand purified drinking water. Like,
hey, that actually is kind of fake decent. I can't even cap with you. I can't cap with you. But you know what, water? And this is a Culture Cast announcement. And this is not just a Culture Cast announcement. This is just an announcement for each and every one of you guys that's going to listen to this podcast. We're just under the 10-minute mark, so it's very important. If you drink the Dasani water,
hell no.
And
if you,
Aquafina.
if you drink the Dasani water, though, most importantly, you need to reevaluate your life decisions. You don't
I
care
wish,
about
I
life.
wish someone would get. I would rather be thirsty than drink the Dasani water.
You know the worst thing about that? I went to Disney World, right? And Disney, I guess, is Coke sponsored.
Oh yeah, I was at Disney World and they had Dasani water. And I'm like, bro, y'all serious right now?
Bro, I drank
Like,
lemonade that entire time. I'm
dude,
like, I can't
dude,
do
that
this.
blue. I just got a Sprite. Like, I'm like, dude, just give me a Sprite. Like, I don't want Dasani. Like, next day I brought my own water. I'm like,
Hey, man,
Like
I
I can
can't do
laugh
it.
about it now, but when we was at the hospital, like found out about our dad, they asked us did we want water. I said sure, that's fine. He came up with Dasani, so I'm thinking in my mind like I don't want no Dasani, but thank you.
Like, I'll take it.
you
Like,
gotta
Right,
do, you gotta do like if you're boxing, you just put it in your mouth, swirl it around, just spit it right back out. Like, I'm not letting Dasani into my body.
Mm-mm.
only in the worst case scenario, that's the only option. And I was at a college fair earlier this fall when we were traveling, and well, last year, but when we were traveling, and they gave out every counselor a water bottle, and I'm like, it was a Dasani water bottle. I looked at the counselor, and he looked at me. He was like, "Hey, I didn't buy it, bro." I'm like, "I hope not, bro. I hope not."
They didn't have water fountains.
You know, with the current climate, nobody's drinking out of water fountain. I'd rather
Nah.
drink
You
out
gotta
of a
put
water
that. You
fountain.
gotta get the little mini little Lysol and zip on the water fountain. Then like get that Dasani water bottle, pour it all out, and then
Man,
just refill it with the water fountain water.
I haven't seen a water fountain since the year 2020, bro. It's been a long time since I've seen a water fountain used. And I'm dead serious when I say that's crazy, right?
Your gym doesn't have the one where you like put the
Right.
water bottle on the thing and
Yeah.
it has like the counter on it, or it's like
I know what you- I know what
this
you're talking
many amounts of bottled water saved or something.
I know what you're talking about, but my gym doesn't have one. I know exactly
hell?
what you're talking about.
It's like motion sensor. You don't even have to touch it. You just put the bottle under it and it automatically dispenses.
Yep.
Like when I'm on campus, they have that, but the gym I go to,
You need a new
have-
gym.
Oh yeah, they need to step their game up.
You need a new gym.
I don't go to the gym for the water personally, so
Clearly, no.
All right.
I get my water in advance. I go to the gym just to lift heavy shit. We are the Culture Cast, for the culture, by the culture. We do it for the culture, and if you're not down with the culture, we just can't help you. Bringing you everything you need to know the world of wrestling and other ish. I'm the O that you should know with Brit to the knee and Worldwide Ray. Shout out to One Piece the GOAT. We're in the new year, and there's New Year's resolutions. And of course, guys, we're going to get to wrestling because that's what we always do. There's a lot to talk about in the wrestling world. But real quick, if I can get a New Year's resolution from each and every one of you, I'll go kick it off real quick. I'm going on year 2 without drinking pop right now. So I'm trying my best. And I'm going strong, year 2 without pop, but I want to take it up to another level. I'm going to attempt to stop drinking beer
Ooh.
until St. Patrick's Day.
That's doable.
Until-
I mean,
Yeah.
when is it this year? You know, every year it's a different month. Like,
In my
Let me
mind,
look it
it's a
up.
pandemic. In my mind, it's a pandemic. So I don't. Every day is like washed in together.
March 17th. You're almost there.
So, but if I do drink a beer, it will be only one day a week because I used to drink it like back in the day every day. So that's my. If I do drink, it'll be one day a week. But my goal is not to drink until St. Patrick's Day. But if I do, one day a week, because I'm honest with myself, because I might be out on a Saturday, I might not want to drink alcohol. I might just, excuse me, I might not out. I might be at a friend's house, because I'm not going outside anywhere, but might be at a
Mhm.
friend's house, socially distant. I might want a Modelo. So I'm gonna be honest with myself. But my goal is to go to March. What about you, Ray?
Yeah, I haven't. Like I remember back in the day, I used to be like a heavy like drinker or whatnot, but now it's like a drink every like 4 or 5 days or something. Like like everyone knows I'm like a big whiskey person. Like I literally have like a collection of like Jack Daniels and stuff like on my shelf that I rarely open. Like I have unopened bottles and stuff. I'm still
Hmm.
on the hunt for that new Terramana, that Anejo.
I had
Like
it.
I where I will
It's in
drive.
it's in Glenwood, bro. I had it for New Year's Eve. I got it in Glenwood. It was like 54, right off of Halsted, over here in the Burbs.
I need that Addy. I will add it to my ways.
Yeah, I had it for New Year's
Wait,
Eve. That baby is dangerous. I'll leave it at that.
but I say my New Year's resolution this year is to market and network more, like my brand, this brand, and like basically everything I could do. Because like it feels like I'm right there, but I just need like that extra oomph to like up my game. But I know that extra oomph requires a lot of networking and getting to know the right people and stuff. So I think I'm gonna improve myself when it comes to that this year.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You're already the hardest worker in the room, so that's only
Mhm.
I'm already claiming that for you. Definitely, especially for me as an anime content creator. I see your work and I try to relay that to what I do on the anime side. What about you, Britt Today?
So mine is I want to focus more on building, of course, our brand, and then work on my personal blog that I do have. And I want to tap more into my more creativeness. Like I know how to sew. I just learned how to sew, so I want to tap more into that and see what I can come up with that, like little stuff like that. Like I love,
Okay.
I love wrestling, but music is also another passion. And my
Mm,
blog is mostly music, so I want to build up on that too.
you love it. Brittany with her music. I got anime. Ray's a jack of all trades. He's a DJ. He's a content creator. He's a graphic designer. I don't want to give away all, and everything else is you got to pay for. You got to pay for everything else. But definitely, man, I love New Year's resolutions. So for those who are listening, feel free via YouTube or make sure you hit us up on social media. What are your New Year's resolutions personally, and also what are your wrestling New Year's resolutions? Let's get into it. Let's talk about wrestling. And there's a lot of things happening throughout the community. There's a lot of things happening throughout various corporations. And we'll touch on some of the hot topics. I know it's been a while since we talked, but we'll touch on a few of those. But before we get into that, wrestling New Year's resolutions. Like, what do we want to see from companies? And a lot of us, at some points, we're going to answer some of the questions that are hot topics with what we want with these companies. But let's start down in the 618 Brits to the knee. What are some of your wrestling resolutions for the new year in 2022 here on Beyonce's Internet?
I think my main thing is for these wrestling companies to do what they've been saying they're going to do. That's pretty much the number one thing for me. Like AEW, continuing to build a better product, WWE, just give us what you all been promising us. More so WWE, but like with AEW, you're this new thing. Like, show us why you're a force to be reckoned with. Little things like that. Just
Show
stand on your promises. More so my thing for this year.
stand on your promises. That sounds like a great T-shirt design. Stand on your promises. I love it. For me, I think outside of I agree definitely standing on your promises. Standing on your pillars, so quote unquote AEW, but not the pillars that you named, but the pillars that you promoted originally as a company. Not just to throw out the token word diversity, but also inclusion, equity, and access and consistency. I've mentioned it
Mm.
on this pod multiple times. Consistency, good, consistently good, and not occasionally great. I think that's what we all want to see with both companies, AEW, WWE, and along with the independents. Not for me though, on the WWE side, I would love as they move forward with this leaner roster. To focus, and there's a great quote from John Cena. He was on the Rich Eisen podcast. I'm not sure if you guys listened to it, and he was talking about how there's been a lot of unfortunate releases throughout the recent weeks and months, unfortunately, and it's definitely sad, and it's definitely sad for folks to lose their jobs.
Mm.
But he was mentioning how the business is definitely changed. Like, for example, he mentioned back when he first started, the cuts were biannually. There's usually a cut every year in the Mania season, and also sometime in the fall time. So he came into his mindset automatically was, I gotta grind because there's always got to be cuts. And then WWE, of course, probably with outside competition, built up a fatter roster, so there weren't as many cuts. So now, since there are more cuts, unfortunately, yes, folks are losing their jobs, but there's also opportunities out. There's a leaner roster, and I think that's probably what the stockholders want. But with this lean roster, I still think you can stabilize the mid card, and I feel like WWE is not doing a great job right now of stabilizing the mid card. Damian Priest, outside of what he tweaks out, what is he doing with that belt? Shinsuke Nakamura has not defended that belt since the last time Togashi made a chapter in Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter.
There's a reason for that, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
I found out something about that.
Oh,
so
cool.
I'll give him a pass.
Cool. Okay, so I'll give that a pass then. But if he hasn't been defending it, then I would love to see maybe outside of interaction with Boogs. There's other ways to utilize and put him consistently on television to keep him viable. Similar to when he first debuted with Boogs. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the tag team titles. Look, I can watch the Usos and the New Day fight every day of the week and twice on Sunday. But, I love how Alpha Academy just won the tag belts on Raw. Pushing these teams and pushing these mid-card storylines, because we know at the top of the card is always going to be set. You got Roman, you got Drew before he got injured, you got Big E, you got Brock Lesnar, you got Bobby Lashley. That's your top of the card. Clearly, I don't see anybody else right now on the top of the card on both shows. How can we make this funnel down to make sure that the funnel isn't this narrow and it can be a little bit more balanced? That's pretty much my biggest resolution, is having a better mid card on WWE. What about you, Ray?
Well, I want to speak to everyone on behalf of the Chicagoan here. I know y'all afraid of our fees, promoters. I know y'all scared of the Chicago tax. I just want to let y'all know Auntie Lori isn't that mean. Give us some shows in the actual city. I'm tired of driving to the suburbs. We got some venues. Auntie Lori, she's alright on certain days. She don't mean to scare y'all like that.
We hope you get well too, Auntie Lori.
Mm-hmm. And have a concession stand. I'm tired of sitting at Stadium Series. Last thing I ate was like a Pop-Tart that morning, and it's like 7 p.m. at the Stadium Series, and I'm like, bruh. And we be low key under the bleachers, puff passing, so the munchies kick in. I hope Steve doesn't hear this, but they said confess your sins.
It'd be like that sometimes, brother. And I really feel you on the concession stand.
Bring a concession stand. And don't be scared to pay the city fees. We'll buy your tickets. Please.
We will.
Just one time.
We will. And come to the city, by the way. Don't come to, other parts, downtown city or Rogers Parks. Come to the city. Come to the city. Come to the south side.
I mean, are there venues on the south side?
I'm pretty sure you can make one I'm pretty sure you can make one. There's enough space. You just have to have somebody that's creative enough to, like Little Black Pearl, for example, back in the day. I'm pretty sure if you open that up a little bit more, you can make that space.
Is that still open? I haven't been there. I haven't been there forever for a party.
No, it's not open last time I checked, but I'm pretty sure that space is available for rent or purchase.
Yeah, so. I think the last time I went there, is it DJ Chip who did the Ghetto Slide? Mm-hmm. He was hosting one. Oh, he was hosting one.
Little Black Pearl would be similar to like Olive in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Olive.
Got you.
Had to make a reference. I'm like, yeah,
that's because I'm like,
she's like, what's Little Black Pearl?
Got you. Makes sense now.
I'm like, so somebody that's recruited and kicked down there. I'm like, let me find something to make a reference to.
I think
So
it was like it was like around this time. It was like winter 2010 going to 2011 because I remember it was like my senior year of high school.
good times, man. Good times. So you heard our resolutions. We want you to stand firm on your beliefs, build a middle card, and most importantly, don't be afraid of Chicago, i.e., the city. We're friends, and you know who else are friends? Shout out to our friends, the Midwest Melon and Mafia. Make sure you guys support We Love Wrestling. Make sure you guys support Down for the Count. Make sure you guys support Know the Ropes. The KTR podcast, Down for the Count, the ladies over there, and also Trey D at We Love Wrestling. Shout out to the Midwest Melanin Mafia gang, gang.
Don't do that again.
Starting the year off already.
That's just I got a pub. I got a pub that's one of those you just clip and send. But anyways, let's talk about this week. Let's talk about wrestling, man. What's happening in the WWE? Brit to the knee. You are the queen of the E. You know everything that's happening.
Do
So
I?
what's okay? You know more than me. Okay, you know more than me. But what's some things that have happened in WWE NXT that's been standing out recently for you, and that you feel like more eyes need to be on, or also some other fun things that are coming up around the corner?
I just want to say this is the first time in like years where I have no idea how the Rumble leading to WrestleMania season is going to pan out. Like, I have no idea. Like, usually I can try to figure it out by now, but I got nothing. And I think that's a good thing. So that's exciting. We finally getting Brock versus Bobby. What y'all think about that?
Bobby, bitch.
About time. But Brock did body him on them
Oh yeah, he
jokes on
did. He
Monday.
did.
No lie.
Hey, knock knock,
Who's there?
Bobby.
And what Paul say? He
Bobby
said
who?
Brock.
Exactly.
He said Brock doing a joke on TV. I never thought I'd see the day.
Look, Brock Lesnar is like that's one thing of all the wrestling that I do get to catch. Brock Lesnar is this in an engaged Brock Lesnar is the ultimate sports entertainer. Like people forgot that he could talk. Yes, he has a great mouthpiece with Paul Heyman, but he's not like the greatest promo in the world. But he can effectively get his point across, and he's very believable because he's a beast, literally. So you got that, and he backs it up in the ring. Like he's not like doing the old school Brock Lesnar stuff. You're not going to see no backflips or nothing like that. But he's just physical. He's intense. He's just going to beat your ass. And to quote Big E, man, big meaty men slapping meat coming soon. I can't wait. Pause.
What else? I do think that we are getting the breakup of RK Bro soon since they lost the titles on Monday. I don't know. Maybe Riddle will eliminate Randy at the Rumble, vice versa. But I know that split is definitely coming, which will lead to a match at WrestleMania, I think.
I'm
And then
conflicted. Do I
you
want
really?
RK Bro to break up?
It's coming.
Only if it elevates Riddle. And I feel like
Yeah.
that's what Randy's doing. And this could be a long term program. And I know they worked before, but if you get them into a blood feud type match, that could be very intense. So I would love. I mean, it's interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see.
And I do, even though I do think we're going to eventually get Bianca versus Becky, probably at Mania, I'm not mad that they chose Piper. Not, I'm not calling her Dewdrop. That's not her name. But I am happy that we are getting Piper. She's getting her shine at the Royal Rumble.
I was gonna say the OGs remember Viper.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So you got that happening in the E on the SmackDown side. You got Roman versus Seth. That's how you know you have a lean roster when you gotta, go to Seth to face Roman, and you also haven't built up your mid card. Like I know it was joked around with Sami Zayn, but Sami Zayn is a big time player, and if he's actually promoted well, we all saw, like still to this day, my favorite NXT match: Sami Zayn versus Neville, NXT Takeover for the NXT title. Like that crowd was behind Sammy. He's a pure baby face. He was work of art. R.I.P. to NXT, by the way. R.I.P. to the black and gold era of NXT.
I mean, Sammy still has a title shot coming up. Well, I don't think they made that official yet, but he still has a title shot.
Yeah,
But is he going to get a real match or is he going to get a quick squash? And that's
He
the yeah.
making it happen at the Royal Rumble.
I think he's going to get a real match to go
Mm-hmm.
along, like with like if he brings back the conspiracy theory of Sami Zayn.
You could hope. It's one of those things. Like a lot of times with the company, I'm like, I wish, but I don't see it. Unfortunately, like I'm still, I don't like how Big E was pinned uh,
Mm-hmm.
at day one. Like it was a multiple man match, fatal 5-way. Why did Big E have to get the pin? But
I
eh,
do have a question. So I know Charlotte is going the Brock Lesnar route, but how do you all see that ending up with the women's division on SmackDown? Like, it's very, very thin over there. Because I personally think that Naomi is getting the spot that Tony was supposed to get and that what Sasha was going to get. So, what do y'all think about that? How that's going to turn out?
I think Rumble wise, I think somehow Sonya Deville's gonna screw Naomi again. Rumble wise, I think this is probably gonna be a long term like storyline that'll probably end at Mania with them having like a straight up match where like I forgot who it was, but was it Cena versus someone where it's like every person Cena beat, they were like banned from ringside.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember though.
I think it was Cena. I think Naomi is probably going to go down that route because she always, I mean, Sonya Deville always relies on Shayna Baszler. So I think it's going to come for a match like either we're going to see a match where it's going to be Naomi versus Shayna Baszler, and if Shayna loses, she's like banned from ringside or something, or it's going to be Sonya does something to Shayna where Shayna's like, you know what, I'm done being like your lackey, your muscle, you're on your own. Like one of those two things are going to happen to lead to the official Sonya Deville versus Naomi match.
That's dope, and I think it's definitely an opportunity. In my perfect world, I would want Naomi to win the Rumble. I don't see it happening, but I definitely thought it could happen. I agree. Ray just kind of changed my mind because I totally forgot about the Sonya Deville factor,
Mm-hmm.
and that could be if you build that properly. Excuse me. You build that properly, and you can have a perfect one-on-one match at Mania for a highlighted match. I think that's pretty cool. So I would love to see that. Um, we'll see how it lands. Got to make it land. Um, but outside of that, without the Tony Storm being gone, I think Sasha's only out for 4 to 6 weeks. So I think you really build for Charlotte and Sasha at Mania. So I think for me personally, if you use a temporary match with maybe I don't know, I don't want to say Naomi as a temporary match, but maybe Naomi as a stopgap, and then she gets screwed through Sonya Deville one more time, and then bam, like Naomi's about to win the title, Sonya like pulls the ref out the ring, then you have your all gas going towards Mania.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, I feel like Sasha was going to be my Rumble pick until she got
Mm-hmm.
hurt. So, because I felt like this was going to happen in a perfect world, you were going to have the Rumble, right? And then the final two were going to be Bianca and Sasha, and that crowd was just going to be, and then Sasha would have got the 50-50 booking, and threw Bianca over, from the Mania moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, but of course that could still happen down the road. Though both ladies are amazing performers and they're young, so we'll see. But yeah, that's a great question, Britt. With the SmackDown women's roster, I talked about having a lean roster. Who's going to step up? Are you going to call somebody up from NXT? Maybe.
Like, who do you call up at this point?
I can see Raquel coming up.
I think
I
it's
mean,
time for Dakota too.
yeah,
Yeah,
Dakota
Raquel.
Kai,
Mm-hmm.
Dakota Kai, Raquel will be your pretty much your first two. Um,
mean,
He
if you
might see a
want,
few more.
if you want, you could push like the married couple storyline to main roster too with Loomis and Indy Hartwell,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to.
And Indy Hartwell would work. Dexter Loomis probably would work even more so in the main roster crowd. I know he was a Triple H student in terms of the old school brand, but we'll see. So I think that's a nice little stopgap till we get Sasha. So I agree.
Yeah,
So that's dope, man. That's dope. NXT 2.0. What do you think?
Shout out to Wendy Chu.
Hey,
I love Wendy. I'm like, she is mood. Like,
I had no clue. I saw the backstage segment. I'm like, I've never seen her work before. Then I watched her work in a snug in a onesie. That shit was lit.
dude, she started the match sleeping on the bottom rope. She woke
Mm-hmm.
up, climbed to the top rope, and went right back to sleep. I'm like, I can relate. Wake up in the middle of the night, switch sides. Like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, let me get to this side of the bed. Like, there we go.
That's dope. And that's the crazy thing is like NXT 2.0 is making a lot of changes, as we know. You know, reportedly, Bruce Pritchard is over the creative team down there. Bruce and a few others. A lot of Triple H's pick people are been unfortunately released or they moved on from the company. So it's different over there, and we can have our thoughts. Like I will forever miss the black and gold era of NXT. It brought a lot of special moments, a lot of my favorite matches. Pretty much, I can not to speak for you guys, but I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all favorite matches maybe came from the black and gold era from
Oh
NXT.
yeah.
So it will be missed,
Mm-hmm.
but the goal for developmental is to is to develop for the main roster. And if they're crafting the performers, unfortunately, to be main roster ready, the hardcore audience might not adjust to them right away. But down the line, it's going to pay dividends for the company. And at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
if it makes dollars, it makes sense. And I hate to say that, unfortunately, but that's the WWE mindset. And if you once you get to that understanding, it all makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's been that mindset the entire time. Maybe people aren't used to it being that new. Like they're used to, people that they know that are already, molded going into NXT. They're not used to, someone who is starting in NXT to make like their like full debut. Like we heard of Carmelo Hayes on the independents, as Christian Casanova, but we haven't heard about Trick Williams, who is developed and saying, like he
Big
said,
booty holes.
yeah, like he said, they go
I knew you were
together
gonna bring
like
that up.
Trick Williams and big booty women.
Hey, big booty holes.
And he said,
I know what he
like
meant.
he said it so smooth though. He was just visualizing it like Trick Williams and big booty women.
It
Booty
works.
holes.
I'm like, if he like in a few months, if he doesn't have like a spring break vignette or something, just him in Miami South Beach, just chilling with the women, like Trick Williams and the big booty women.
Life is lit.
I'm talking button up shirt is open. He's just like, just laid back.
You just did the Jada kiss, bro. Do that one more time.
What
I need
the-
you to do that and say, "I'm outside." That was just, I'm from D Block. I'm outside. I got 100 clips.
Best
Shout out
moment of
to our-
2021.
Nah,
Shout
best
out to
moment.
the
Is,
verses.
nah, the best verses came after that when what's his name? Busy Bone. He got mad.
They should have known that was gonna happen. Can't take him nowhere.
They was like, shut the fuck. In the middle of him talking, they just like, hey, shut the hell up.
And shout out to our listeners, by the way. That versus episode did a lot of numbers. So thank you guys for streaming that. Make sure you guys follow us on social media. Thank you for that pass, bro. Make sure you follow us on social media, CultureCast Pod on IG, CultureCast Pod _ on Twitter. Click the link in the bio. We have merchandise available. All sales and proceeds are donated to independent wrestling. So definitely take advantage of that. Get you a crew neck, get you a t-shirt, get you a hoodie, get you a I forgot what it's called. I was about to say turtleneck. I was gonna a cut off shirt,
Well,
you know,
well, we well
a
we
tank top, a tank
I was
top.
about to
That's
say
what it's
we 06 Batista with the white turtleneck.
called. Hey, don't let me get a fitted turtleneck over here. I go crazy with
Ain't
that.
gonna know how
Hey,
to
hey, I
act.
got a turtleneck. So
I
I
don't have
told
any.
you, I told you when Omas came out with it, I went and bought that entire outfit, and it's in my closet. Like
You gotta take a picture with that outfit on? You know that, right?
it
We
was
gotta
for
put that as
some, it was for someone's birthday. I wore it, like the chain, turtleneck, like that whole combination.
that's gotta be the header for this pod. Is Omas's you dressed up as Omas. That's the header for this episode. We're Omas back. Okay. All right. A lot of things happen. Shout out to AEW Carmelo. Malcolm Bivens is doing his thing. Braun Breaker. You know, so there's so many new talent. Wendy Chu. Um, there's so much new talent over there. Lash Legend. Tony D'Angelo. Is it D'Angelo?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
See, oh yeah. Who fought the homeboy? AJ Styles versus
Grayson Waller.
Grayson Waller, an
Grayson.
amazing match. He did the under the second rope stunner. I was like, I was like, 'cause once again, I never heard of Buddy, but I'm just like, damn.
You
Okay.
can't forget about your buddy Jake St. Patrick. He was attending Chase U.
He
Yep,
was
he
definitely in
was.
Chase U. Make sure you guys follow Jake St. Patrick, but not his old IG because he got hacked. All right, so follow his new IG.
They dumbass message me about some. I am Jake. Like, but I know his real name. No, you're not.
I'm like, his name's not Jake.
They
Right.
they were like it me Jake. Like what?
OMG. Before we get on out of here, let's talk about AEW. So, what's happening in the world of all elite wrestling and some things that are exciting for me? It's all about Adam Cole, baby. You know, I'm an Adam Cole stan, so anything that he does, I'm gonna watch. Highlights, of course, because I'm not watching AEW right now. But anything that he does, I watch the highlights. He got Bobby Fish back. He has Kyle O'Reilly. There's a reported new name. I don't want to speak on it until it's said on television, so we'll leave it right there. 'Cause I don't want to get sued. I just know a copyright has been made, and I'll wait till it's announced. But it's a new era, quote unquote. But it's not an era. But there's a lot happening in AEW, but there's a lot of things that aren't happening. And before, let me just get this out of the way. Um, Comprehensive skills are important in 2022, ladies and gentlemen. Reading is fundamental, and reading is fundamental, but active listening is even more so important. So before you make a comment, before you make a tweet, before you just say, you know what, this is that, or what about think to yourself, do you really want to tweet that? Do you really know the under? Do you really know the situation? And look at your complexion. If you got the complexion for protection, you might want to step out of black folks' business at the end of the day. So active listening skills are so important. Sometimes the best things said are left unsaid. And that's really just for the demographic at AEW. Okay? That's all I got to say on that. Feel free anyone else to jump on in.
I mean, you pretty much summed it up.
I'm giving you this thank eye. Like you talked about AEW didn't bring up Jade. That's why I'm giving you this thank eye. Like,
Oh, I was gonna get to that. I'm just going to get this out the way first.
but you was like my favorite part is I'm thinking, oh, he must bring up Jade. You was like Adam Cole. I'm like, the fuck?
Oh, I mean, you know what? I apologize because Jade is a given.
Yeah,
The Jade,
apologize.
yeah, I apologize. The Jade brand is the most important thing on it. See, I don't watch it, so clearly I forgot. But the Jade brand, the new TBS champion, she's money, and people say she's green. She's not green. The only thing green about her is money. Okay. The only thing green about Drake Cargill is money. So shout out to the new TBS champion. Big things, and hopefully, in my opinion, that's the primary belt. That's the primary belt at
That's
that
the only one that
company.
matter to you.
Okay, so shout out to Jade, shout out to Dante Martin, shout out to Darius. I heard he's coming back very soon. So shout out to the Martin brothers. You know, Will Hobbs on television, Jay Lethal. It's been found. He was on television. So shout out to the black folk. That's it.
I got goat dry day, so I gotta get J car goat. Like she got to join the goat family.
True goat. True goat. Anything else happening in AEW I want to talk about? Or?
I mean, if the name you didn't want to mention is Brody King, he already debuted, so you could bring him up if that was the name you were talking about.
Oh no, I had no clue about Brody King. He debuted today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow! Shout out to Brody King. I didn't know.
I thought that's what you were talking about. You was like,
That's
oh,
all
and this rumored name, I don't want to get in trouble. I'm like, he already debuted, so you could say it.
Oh, you were talking about the name that they got Adam Cole in.
Yeah, I'm talking about the name of the group.
Okay, yeah.
I thought you were talking about like the name of a wrestler. I'm like,
Oh no! I didn't know Brody King debuted though. That's dope. Shout out to Brody King.
yeah, he debuted today,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty dope.
I'm still not watching him, but shout out to Brody King. I know. Until that apology is as loud as the disrespect, I ain't watching that shit.
I don't think it's not happening.
Hey, speaking of Rumble in St. Louis, there's another event happening next month down in the Lou. What they say?
Bing bong.
Do they still say the Lou?
It's
First,
the Lou, yeah.
first
That's
time
not
I heard
gonna
that
work.
was Nelly said. I think it was in Country Grammar. He said, "I'm from the Lou and I'm
And
proud."
Hey,
For all the young for all the 2000
Nelly better
babies,
be at the Rumble since he's so St. Louis.
for all the 2000 babies, back in the day, we had this channel called The Box.
Ooh, good times.
All the hits used to come on,
I
and
need a pop real quick.
What is that?
like at the bottom of the screen, it had like I think it was what already came on or what's going to come on next.
Yep.
Like The Box used to be.
The box.
Like we talk about BT Uncut on here a lot, but we don't show The Box like a lot of love, and The Box used to be fire.
Mine was
Even when it
in the box. My mind was straight to the gutter.
even when
Straight to the gutter.
even when MTV bought it, like on Sundays we had that Sucker Free Countdown.
Mm-hmm.
Fire. That's when the music channels used to be top notch on the weekends. We're talking BT had their day. I think it was like top 50 every Saturday. And
Yep,
then,
every Saturday.
then MTV had that Sucker Free Countdown on Sundays. Like there was no going outside like before like 3 p.m.
You had to be there.
You had to be there.
You had to be there, man. And that event is Black Wrestlers Matter in St. Louis. Shout out to the KTR team. Shout out to Black Wrestlers Matter. It's going to be an amazing show. This is the third, I don't want to say third, yeah, this third annual Black Wrestlers Matter. Shout out to the Black Wrestling Matters champion, frontman Ja C. It's an amazing card that's still growing. And that's the only show that matters in the month of February.
I'll be in attendance.
I think Ray's driving down too.
Still deciding because it's like, damn, that's a drive.
It's a drive.
Because if Ray's driving down, that means I'm driving down. So, i.e., I'm in the car and I got gas. That's what it means.
No, you driving yourself.
Nah, we're driving.
Yeah.
We're all in this together.
There you go.
But
No,
shout out to
I'm done with long travels. If I drive like out of state or far with somebody next time they doing the full drive, I'm like, I'm retired for the day.
You know what?
It's my weekend.
I might call Trey and drive down to Champaign because Indianapolis, you got to go through Champaign. And I'm like, hey, Scoop, be on the way, bro.
He gonna look at you like,
You already know what you're gonna do.
right?
I'm like, look, I'll watch The Wire before I get in the car.
He gonna be
Yeah,
like,
right.
prove it.
I'll watch The Wire in the car with you. See?
What gonna do? Connect your phone to the Bluetooth and like have the wire blare it over the car speaker.
Oh, hey, Omar's coming, literally. So I'm just saying. I'm coming along for the ride. Black Wrestlers Matter. We'll talk about that more closer to the day, but make sure you guys follow us on social media. We're going to be promoting that event almost every week leading up to the program. So be on the lookout for that. And speaking of programs, let's close it off. The Royal Rumble. Let me get a prediction on the men's side and the women's side. We'll kick it off with you, Worldwide Ray. Who are you thinking?
Not more of a winner's prediction. I'm predicting women's wise. I think Truth will interfere to get that 24/7 title off Dana Brooke. Something's telling me she's going to lose it somehow during the women's Rumble match. And I'm thinking probably she will interfere in the men's match to get it back.
Well, that'll be funny.
If that happens, I'll be done. I'll be like, oh, that made my day.
That's what's up. I got Big E winning the men's side with if Drew is healthy, but I'm not sure if Drew's fully healthy because Drew would have been my pick for this year again. I thought he would be a back-to-back, not a back-to-back, but another Royal Rumble winner. But I got Big E, my sleeper, Xavier Woods. And my wish is Ricochet. But
Ouch.
that's not, yeah. I'm just saying. On the women's side, it would have been Sasha Banks. I want to say Bianca, so we can get Bianca versus Becky. So I'll just go with Bianca. But I want to say Rhea Ripley. I feel like Rhea Ripley needs that push. She just broke up with Nikki ASH. You know,
which was a heavy swerve because we expected Rhea to turn heel, but the whole time Nikki was the one that turned heel. So I'm kind of intrigued on that because everyone and their mama thought it would be Rhea who will turn bad.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm like a heel person that's trying to force us to, no pun intended, acknowledge her as the superhero.
And which is going to be cool to see because Rhea being the babyface, Rhea can then go against big money, big time Bex. And Bex, of course, will be the heel. And then so either Rhea or Bianca will be my women's picks. Those. What about you, Britt? Closes out.
Quick question first. Are they still doing Elimination Chamber?
I don't know.
I haven't seen it announced yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen nothing announced.
Okay. So for the women, if they are doing an Elimination Chamber, then I'm going to go with Rhea or Naomi. If they're doing an Elimination Chamber match, give the Raw women's side that match, and that's how Bianca wins. To go against Becky.
Okay.
For the men, I'm going with Big E or Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens would be a good pick. That's a good pick right there. That is a good pick. That's a good pick, man. And we're getting underneath that hour mark. What up, Ray?
Time for some nerd talk. Remember on Spider-Man Far From Home when Mysterio was trying to convince us that he was the superhero, but the whole time he was the villain? That's how I vision Nikki will probably be like a Mysterio-esque character.
That's a good one.
Speaking of which, did you guys all see the news? We won't spoil it on here for those who haven't seen it, but have y'all seen it?
It's been a month. It's been a month. Yeah. Like, come on now.
You know, I've
seen it 3 times. It's been a month. Come on. all the memes are all over social media. We know what happened. Like,
see, it's a panini, so I still feel like this is why I have not tried to spoil it because
everyone's seen it by now.
Yeah. I'm giving it another month.
Oh my god.
Right. It's gonna be on Disney Plus, man.
You know what? Come on. When it's on Disney Plus, and I'll talk about it publicly. But hey, I call
right. You being way too nice. It's been a month. Like that spoiler thing is out the window now.
Because I'm giving folks 2 weeks to see Scream.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. Talking. Yeah, it's supposed to be a 2-week rule.
See,
after 2 weeks.
Community. I'm from the anime community, so it's totally different how I envision spoilers. Like for
example, y'all got episodes that y'all declare to not watch because it has nothing to do with the story. So
that's true. That's called filler. But hear me out. So for example, ALT, Attack on Titan, is a very popular anime that just recently debuted part 2 of their second season of the final season last Sunday. This show is so popular that it shut down Crunchyroll, which is a very popular streaming site for anime and application. ALT has been finished though for like almost 2 years. I've read the manga, which is the source material where these anime shows come from. So me as a manga reader, we call ourselves elitists, we are gatekeepers, but I know the ending, and I've known the ending for so long, but I
That's
haven't said
different.
anything. But that's why my mindset is like same thing with like a lot of our other favorite shows in anime. Like it's already been in the manga like years in advance. So when I'm having a conversation with some folks, I'll always have to be mindful of are you anime only or do you know about manga? So mentally, when I go into movies, I'm always thinking the same thing. Like, and I think that's just a force of habit because I'm coming from the anime world. Like I'm used to be cautious of what I say. That's just maybe just because I'm me. I think it's only me because I'm an anime guy.
I
I agree
mean,
that I felt like 2 weeks is definitely cool too.
I mean that's different because when it comes to like movies and TV shows, like just that alone, like the most you could do is 2 weeks, and if it's something that's based off a book, like most of the time, the book and the movie or TV show are two totally different things. Like there are stuff that was in the Harry Potter and Sorcerer's Stone book that they didn't show in the movie. So that's the big difference right there. Like for example, like for the Disney Plus series, like Falcon, Winter Soldier, Hawkeye, and stuff. Like I usually give until it usually comes out on Wednesdays. I usually give till Sunday. Then Sunday I'll like have my normal talk about it. So yeah, when it comes to like movies and just straight up TV shows, it's only like a small window, especially when it's accessible almost anywhere. Like you said, like the app crashing or shutting down, I can understand. But like when it comes to a movie like a Spider-Man, like it's accessible like anywhere.
Okay, 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 okay.
Yeah.
Shout out
Cheap
Spider-Man.
plug.
Shout out to
Cheap plug. Get the y'all get the AMC A-list membership. I mean, $21 a month. You get to see 3 movies a week for the price of that. That's how I saw Spider-Man 3 times in 3 different settings. IMAX, all that, without any extra charges, and you get to cut the line in the concession. So,
another
pow
cheap
pow
plug.
pow. In my
Shout out to
Tasha
E-Man.
Tasha Mack voice, pow pow pow.
Shout out to E-Man's movie reviews. Hashtag recast T'Challa. He's a movie critic. Follow him on YouTube. He's doing his great things right now with the petition for recast T'Challa. He's also got
Ooh.
accepted to the Hollywood.
Just give it to M'Baku.
No, that's
Don't recast.
read the petition.
What you want? What you want? The Fast and Furious, where he's like,
No.
Are you not going to say goodbye? Are you going to leave without saying goodbye?
It's more so using it as a figure. For example, you can have multiple James Bonds. You can have multiple T'Challa. So it's more so not it's the figure, the character of what it means for future generations.
But James Bond is like a standalone. Like Black Panther is MCU. Like,
so who says that Black Panther? There's multiple Batmans.
What you want to do? Like how they low key changed up from Terrence Howard to Don Cheadle? Like we wouldn't notice.
I mean,
I get that.
we're gonna. There's
Wakanda forever, man.
There's gonna be different Batmans. There's gonna be different Supermans. There's gonna be different Wonder Womans down the road. At the end of the day, as long as the character is still held to a high degree.
They kill my homie Iron Man. Iron Man died.
Say that one time.
What happened to Spider Man?
What the,
Get the kick out of it. You weak as fuck.
Wait, say that one more time.
Say what?
What happened to Spider-Man?
I mean, that's what you want. You want that to happen. Also, they bring back Terrence Howard.
And he says, "What happened to Spider?" We gotta go. We gotta go to class. For the culture, by the culture.
Hey, who is you? They call you Ant-Man.
He on the road now.
Hey, tell everyone where they can follow you at, man. Go ahead, Ray.
See you getting him
At Irish H on everything.
Oasis3457, TikTok, everywhere. Clubhouse, you know it. What about you, Britt?
B Ray Jones, BEERAY Jones on Twitter and on Instagram.
Man, they got a black Iron Man.
What?
you War Machine? You Black Iron Man.
See Red, go Bulls. We are the Culture Cast for the culture by the culture. We do it for the culture. And if you're not down with the culture, we just can't help you. Follow us on social media. Grab a t-shirt. I'm the old that you should know. Worldwide rate. Grit to the knee. We are out of here. Until next time.
Half of y'all got disappeared by a purple man.